We've been talking for a while now about getting a good value for the price we pay for our figures. And I wanted to hold up one of the absolute gold standards on that front, Mattel and their WWE line. Since I've been collecting elite figures since a while back now, over 10 years, which is crazy to think about. I've been getting so many cool accessories, a lot of which I'm like, I can't believe you guys included this. Yeah, I'm expecting a Stone Cold Steve Austin to have his vest, to have a couple knee braces, and Mankind to have Socko. When I get figures like the Wild Samoans and they've got their full gear, I'm like, that's pretty cool. And I love that there are clearly fans involved in this where they're trying to throw in more new stuff for us every time out. And it's so fun. It's so cool. I've changed up my display a little bit. You might see a few videos back where I had a ton of wrestling figures in here. So when relocating them, I had a few of those amazing accessories. And I was like, yeah, this is so cool. I can't believe they included this with a figure. And that led me down the rabbit hole of what are your favorite accessories that'll come with these wrestling figures? And I came up with 10. I could probably come up with 30, but I narrowed it down. I'm pretty happy with this list. And so I wanted to share with you my top 10 favorite wrestling figures from Mattel. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. So let's get into it. So many great options. Again, ask me next month. My top 10 could be mostly all the way changed, but let's break it down. Starting off with two honorable mentions. First up is the greatest hits elite Cody Rhodes figure. Love the suit look for him. That makes so much sense. But this accessory, the actual commentator's chair that they're rocking with now, that is really cool. I mean, it swivels, it's got the whole thing like your standard gaming chair. That's very cool. And bonus for Mattel because it kind of encourages you to go get, let's not just get one, let's get two, maybe even three. This is one of these cases where I would love for them to do accessory packs because this would absolutely be something that was worthwhile to get, not just one, but two. So that's one honorable mention. And I don't want to spoil the list for you. So I'm going to pull this window off every time I have another one. Next up, my other one, and the only reason this is an honorable mention, it got included with a figure, and I kind of wish that it hadn't, like it was its own separate thing, because this was well worth buying for those of us who were fans in the 80s, in the early 90s. This was an essential piece of so many monumental moments in wrestling. Of course, I'm talking about this blue platform, the interview stage. It came with the Elite 70 Vince McMahon, and he's way too tall. He is like towering over Hulk Hogan. That's insane. And you can see how much space they've got to work with on this platform. So if you got maybe two or three, you would have a better scale of this platform. But I really love the fact that they included it with Vince McMahon anyway. You needed commentator Vince, and this was just a nice bonus toss in. So that was really great to get. And again, I wish it was a little bit wider, a little bit, you could have like two or three. Maybe you could have four members of the Heenan family talking to me and Gene on there at one time. So that's why it's an honorable mention and not fully on my top 10 list. Now, let's get into the top 10. Starting with this, I am super biased, and I admit to that. This one, when I saw it, I was like, I can't believe they actually included this. And even better, that it breaks up. I'm talking about Paul E. Dangerously's cell phone. I am a massive Dangerous Alliance fan, and I absolutely love the fact we've got this cell phone and it breaks. So when you smash it on top of Sting, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's head, it shatters just like Paulie's cell phone. So that's really great. It was so awesome to get that. And I didn't realize right when I got it that it broke apart. So that was really fun to do and just have my Dangerous Alliance of Ravishing Rick Rude, Stunning Steve Austin, Arn Anderson, and kind of sort of Larry Zbyszko, putting that to good use. Still need my Bobby Eaton Mattel. Y'all can make it happen. Number 9 is this one that was just so wild. AWA fans would recognize this too. It's Bobby Heenan and his weasel suit. This is so outrageous that they did this. We've had a few beautiful. We've had a few figures of the brain over the years. And I just love the fact that they included this. This one is so outrageous because not only do you get the brain with this, but you get him in his wrestling attire. It's even got a tail. So that's just super outrageous. You can see the mitts, and it's like Ralphie running around, only this is white as opposed to full on pink. This is awesome. And you can see, you could actually stuff it. It's got him in his wrestling gear. This is what he was rocking when he was fighting Ultimate Warrior on behalf of his family members. So I just love the fact that you can actually put him in this deal. And if you want him, you've got him in standard wrestling setup as well. So there you go. Hold him, Andre. I'm about to knock him out. It's just awesome. I love this accessory. It is one of my absolute favorites because how often can you dress up your figure in a weasel costume? So really fun, a really great accessory piece there. Number 8 is just absurd, and that's why it's on the list. You'll see that's the case with several of these accessories, not because I finally remember the gimmick. I just think it's wild that they made this an accessory. And this is definitely the case for number 8. And this is part of the Paulie Dangerously Build-A-Figure, not Paulie Dangerously, Paul Ellering Build-A-Figure. It's Rocco, the puppet that he was doing a really bad ventriloquist skit setup with, helping the Legion of Doom get back to their roots. I don't understand 1990s WWF all the time, but here you go. Rocco, he's got the sneer on his face. He's got the greaser hairstyle, complete with a curl. This is outrageous that they made this. And I love Mattel for doing it because where else would you ever need a Rocco figure? And just insane. I love this figure. It came with the WrestleMania China figure, again, part of the Build-A-Figure Paul Ellering line. And I was like, I've got to get Paul Ellering. This is amazing. And then to get Rocco just tossed in as an accessory for the Build-A-Figure, that just put it all the way over the top. And I would never ask for a Rocco figure, but the fact that they threw it in is just crazy. And I love that. And so it's just a wild accessory. My number 8 one. Number 7, another wacky and wild accessory. This comes with the Elite 102 Sami Zayn. It is the giant mousetrap from his feud against Johnny Knoxville. I mean, this is stupid. How are you including a giant mousetrap in with a figure? But I love it. This is the kind of stuff. We've had so many Sami Zayn figures over the years. Getting one with a giant mousetrap is absurd. So if you have a Tom and Jerry setup, you can play with this too. And the expression for Sami Zayn with this, perfect. Now, I mean, come on. When could you ever make use of a giant mousetrap with your figures? This is so good. I mean, you can use it if you're really crazy with your Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse figures, but that's a wacky accessory to throw in with a wrestling figure line. So that's got to make the cut. I'm all about the weird accessories. These are fun. And, it just makes sense. This one is absolutely, it's like a 2-in-1 because I couldn't separate from one or the other. I put both of them. This is with the Ultimate Edition George Animal Steele, which you can only get in the 2-pack with a great Roddy Piper. And I think this set is still on sale now at creationsmattel.com for $50. Get it. It's worth it for the Piper alone. But George Animal Steele has some awesome accessories. These two in particular, mine. This came with the original Legends figure, but this is, come on. How can you hate on this? It's sculpted. It's got all this. It's got the green tongue. It's got the hair and then the bald spot, the bald belly. I mean, this is so crazy. And this sculpting on is wild. I mean, the green tongue, come on. And the other one is this. He's got a ripped up turnbuckle. This was his whole gimmick. You can take this padding out and have it as part of his wacky celebration. Hey, I'm throwing the peanuts around. It's just, this is cool. I love the Mattel takes this extra step to throw these kind of accessories into the figure. That mine is reused, but it's great. So if you missed out on the Legends one, you got to get him with that. He's got his t-shirt too. You can get a full on animal experience with this Ultimate Edition set. You get mine, you get the turnbuckle. So that's why it had to be included. It's my number 6 accessory, but it is amazing that that's in both, you get both parts in that figure. So definitely putting that in there. Next up here is this whole deal. I mean, the sheep mask for Bray Wyatt, for Eric Rowan. I would include that. Bray Wyatt and his hat. I love that. He's got his shirt, soft goods, and his lantern. But what really made the cut here is the rocking chair, which actually rocks. It came with Eric Rowan, and you got him, you got Luke Harper, and you got Bray Wyatt. You had your full on Wyatt family deal. And I love the fact that you can actually have him rocking in the chair. So you can do this setup where he's like, we're here. And you can just have him swaying back and forth in the chair. I love that. And that's that out of the box thinking. I don't know how many people would have been upset if we never got a rocking chair with a Bray Wyatt figure. But the fact that they included it with his first elite was like, you guys are awesome. It's one of my favorites. And I'm so happy that we got that because it really did take out one of the main looks that I needed for my Wyatt family. This one is another 2-in-1 kind of setup. And I'm just going to leave it here so you can see both of them kind of at the same time. This is one that I always hold up when I'm talking about how great Mattel is with their accessories and why they're pretty much untouched on that front because it's like, man, they included this with both these guys. It's the APA setup here. So here's Bradshaw, and he's got the table. The only thing I don't like is this big gash right here. Makes it easy, of course, to break the table. So when they have one of their big brawls, you got that. Now, I've used this same table with my Marvel Legends for poker night at the Avengers Mansion, and I can hide it with a bunch of other things. But I love the fact that we've got a round table, not just our standard square rectangular table. This is really cool. And then, of course, you got that. You got to have the APA door, and it's got the frame set up where it's just standing on its own. And he gets a chair too, which is awesome. I think Bradshaw has one as well. So you can have them both sitting down at the table that comes with Bradshaw. And then you've got to make everybody walk through the door of the APA Protection Agency. I love that. I thought it was so amazing that they actually included all of this here. So I really, really dig this. This is from both Elite 38, APA, Bradshaw, and Farouk. I mean, how often do you get a figure that comes with a full door that actually works? And it's like, nah, that wasn't enough. We'll throw in a steel chair for you too. So those two, absolutely one of the best setup packaging deals of accessories. This is another kind of troll one, but I love it. It is epic on the troll accessory front. This comes with the Elite 12 Alberto Del Rio. It's during his feud with Rey Mysterio. Rey gets a bum arm, and so he's got the cast for his Rey Mysterio Chihuahua. And this is so ridiculous. I mean, a dude has a dog, but the fact that we have this in figure form, even better. So you can see the mask has the full Rey Mysterio set with the cross. It got the eye slots too. I mean, come on. And a cast. This is the best trolling figure I have, or trolling accessory I will ever have. That's perfect. Alberto Del Rio, not necessarily a nice guy, but the fact that he did this is so great. The fact that Mattel gave it to us is even better. So I absolutely love that. That's number 3 if you're keeping track at home. And number 2 is something I just love the fact when they do this, because sometimes wrestlers change up certain parts of their gimmick and then some parts stay the same, and you can go from different eras and not even need to change the whole tights, the whole look. It'll just work with the figure. And this is one of those cases. Superstar Billy Graham, Elite number 70. This is so great because you can see he's got the tie-dye shirt. That was awesome, the way that's implemented. He's got the feather boa. Hey, Hogan, there's something else for you to rip off. Comes with shades. But if you check this out here, he's also got a 70s style head sculpt. And you don't need anything else, because even when he was older in the mid 80s or late 80s, when he was in the WWF again, he looked pretty jacked up. Maybe his stomach was a little bit wider, but he was pretty jacked still. He had the biceps, not quite Hogan size, but he still looked ripped. He wore these tie-dye pants, same as when he did in the 70s. So this figure accomplishes so many things because you can have him going against older school guys and newer school guys, against Ravishing Rick Rude, Bob Backlund here, beating him down in this era. I love this because it's a really great 2-in-1. The 2-in-1s that they do, a great gimmick. I can never get enough of when they do that. And this was one of the first. And I was like, this is so ingenious. Please do more of this, Mattel. And that was awesome. And just the fact that you can get a 2-in-1. And we got the territories pack where you can have this one, the Elite 70, as your classic 1987 before he fights One Man Gang and Butch Reed look. And you can use the territory set just to fight against your 70s guys like Gorilla Monsoon, Bruno Sammartino, and even Harley Race. So very cool. Time for the final one on my favorite accessory list. And I already mentioned how much I love the 2-in-1 gimmick. This is the ultimate one. This is so incredible. I wish the base figure was better, but whatever. I'm not going to complain too much. It is Terry Bam Bam Gordy, the Executioner. This set is great. You get a world-class UWF, NWA, wherever else, AWA, Mid-South version of Bam Bam, the heavy hitter of the Freebirds. But you also have everything you need to make his 1996 Executioner look. And you can see he's got a separate head sculpt. They didn't want to try to do some wacky thing where you're putting a mask over this head that only a mother could love. And he's got a ridiculous axe. And let me show you the full on Executioner look here. So you can do the full thing. That's spectacular. He's got the hood too. And I was like, is all this accurate? He's got this where you can put, I mean, it is so well done. So you can put his arms through these loops. So you can have this kind of draping over a little bit differently. But I mean, that is so awesome to actually get all of this in one figure. And I think it actually makes for a better Executioner than a Terry Gordy simply because this body a little bit too small for when he was doing his full thing. Here's the full look so you can see. Yeah, maybe you can pull these pants down just a tad more, but come on. We've got the cape. It's got an interior lining. So we got the red against that black on the exterior, the frayed part up here. The hood stays on pretty solid, and the axe is great. So, I mean, this is really exceptional stuff. Big fan of that. And just love the creativity Mattel shows with their WWE line. I'm sure another 5 years, I'll have to change out some of this stuff because they've given us some better, even more exciting and fun accessories. But those are my top 10. I would love, of course, to hear from you. What are some of your favorite accessories, you WWE collectors out there? If you got something from AEW, let me know as well. And Figure Toys Collections or Figure Toys Companies also has some really fun stuff like the Shark Tank, which I still need to get. Let me know what y'all think. For now, this episode of Lyle's Figure Files has been filed.